AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of her fiancé's behavior. This is going to be a long one, so bear with me. I, 28F, have a younger sister, Emma, 25F. We've always been close growing up, but as we've gotten older, things have gotten a bit complicated, especially when it comes to her fiancé, Jason, 27M. I'm conflicted about whether I'm being unreasonable, so I'm turning to Reddit for some perspective. A bit of backstory. Emma and I have always had a good relationship. We support each other, we talk about everything, and we've been through a lot together. When she started dating Jason about 2 years ago, I was cautiously optimistic. At first, he seemed fine, polite, charming, and someone I thought my sister would be happy with. But as time passed, I started noticing things about him that didn't sit right with me. Jason could be very controlling and dismissive, especially towards Emma. I've seen it firsthand. For example, when we hang out in groups, he often cuts Emma off or talks over her. One time at a family dinner, Emma tried to bring up a story, and Jason interrupted her multiple times, then proceeded to tell the story himself as if it were his own experience. Emma looked visibly uncomfortable, but she didn't say anything. I asked her about it later, and she brushed it off as just Jason being Jason. There have been other instances, too. Emma used to be very close with our parents, but since she started dating Jason, she's been distant from them. Our mom confided in me that Jason insists on making all decisions for Emma, including things like what she wears and who she talks to. It's subtle, but our mom noticed the change and is worried. I tried talking to Emma about it, but she gets defensive. She says I don't understand the relationship and that Jason loves her and is just protective. I want to believe that, but the signs are concerning. Recently, Emma and Jason announced their engagement. The wedding planning has been stressful, as Emma has had little say in anything. Jason picked the venue, the guest list, even her dress. I noticed that my name wasn't on the guest list initially. When I asked Emma about it, she said Jason thought I wouldn't come anyway because we don't get along. This hurt because I've never done anything to give that impression. A few days ago, Emma sent me an invite to the wedding. It was formal and polite, but I couldn't shake the feeling that Jason had a hand in the wording and that it was more of a formality than a genuine invitation. I decided to talk to Emma one last time before making any decisions. During our conversation, I tried to express my concerns calmly. I told her I was worried about how Jason treats her and how little control she seems to have in her own life right now. Emma got upset and accused me of trying to sabotage her relationship. She said I was jealous and that I should respect her choices. That was the breaking point for me. I don't want to be part of a wedding where I feel like the groom is toxic and controlling. I told Emma I wouldn't attend the wedding if Jason was going to be there. I explained that it's not about me versus her, but about standing up for her well-being. Emma hasn't spoken to me since. Our parents are caught in the middle, not wanting to upset either of us, but clearly worried about how this is escalating. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I'm doing the right thing by standing firm. So, Reddit. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of her fiancé's behavior? Or should I just put my feelings aside and be there for Emma on her big day? Thanks for reading. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she's excluded my fiancé due to his disability? This is a long one, but I'll try to explain everything clearly. My 29F sister, 32F, is getting married in a few months, and things have become very tense between us because of her decision regarding the guest list. I want to know if I'm the asshole for refusing to go to her wedding over it. Some background. I've been with my fiancé, 31M, for 3 years. He's an amazing guy, kind, funny, supportive, but he has a physical disability that requires him to use a wheelchair. This hasn't ever been an issue for me or my family before, and I'm very proud of how well he handles life. He's independent, smart, and I love him deeply. My sister, on the other hand, has always been very particular about appearances and control. She's a successful event planner and is handling her own wedding almost entirely by herself. I've helped her a bit, but mostly she's done everything on her own terms. When she first announced her wedding date, I was excited. I immediately told her I'd be bringing my fiancé. She didn't say much then, but later on, she informed me that she wouldn't be able to accommodate my fiancé at the venue because it wasn't wheelchair accessible, and that there was no way to make it so on short notice. She said it was a unique venue with many historical restrictions. I found this hard to believe because I'd visited the venue with her months earlier during the planning phase, and I specifically remember asking about accessibility. She assured me then that it was mostly accessible and didn't mention any problems. When I pressed her about this, she became defensive and said that it wasn't about exclusion, but about logistics. She said she couldn't ask the venue to make special exceptions or change the setup because it would cost too much and delay the schedule. She also suggested that my fiancé might be uncomfortable in the space. I was hurt and frustrated. I told her that this felt like an excuse and that excluding my fiancé because of his disability was unacceptable. She responded by saying that the guest list was already tight and that she had to prioritize family members and friends who were more important to her. I reminded her that my fiancé is family now, and that if she cared about me, she would find a way to include him. She said that I was overreacting and making it about politics instead of the reality of the venue and budget constraints. I tried to compromise. I asked if maybe he could attend the ceremony, but not the reception, or if she could arrange for transportation to a nearby, accessible area. She said no, that the entire event was in the same restricted space. Things escalated when I told her that if she refused to accommodate my fiancé, I wouldn't attend the wedding at all. She said that was my choice and that she wouldn't force me to come if I didn't want to. I reached out to some mutual friends and even the venue management to check about the accessibility. The venue is old, yes, but they have ramps and elevators in place for other events. There was no mention of any strict ban on wheelchairs or anything like that. I shared this with my sister, hoping she would reconsider, but she doubled down and accused me of trying to make her wedding about my fiancé's disability and ruining her special day. I'm stuck in a difficult position. I love my sister, but I love my fiancé too, and I can't support a decision that feels discriminatory. My parents have tried to mediate, but mostly side with my sister, saying it's her day and she can do what she wants. I've told my sister that I'm willing to support her in other ways and help with the wedding preparations, but I won't attend if my fiancé is not welcome. She's called me selfish and dramatic. So, AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she excluded my fiancé due to his disability? AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of how she treated my fiancé? This has been weighing on me for months now, and I'm still conflicted about whether I'm in the wrong or not. I'm hoping to get some outside perspective here. A bit of background. I'm 28F, and my sister, 30F, is getting married in about 2 months. We've always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, she was the golden child, excelling in school, always the favorite, and very social. I was the quieter, more introverted sibling who struggled with confidence and often felt overshadowed. Despite that, I've always tried to support her and be there when she needed me. Fast forward to adulthood. I met my fiancé, Mark, about 3 years ago. He's kind, funny, and someone I trust deeply. Mark gets along with my family for the most part, but he and my sister have never really clicked. She's always been cold toward him, and at family gatherings, she often makes passive-aggressive comments or ignores him altogether. I've tried to brush it off, telling myself it's just sibling rivalry, or maybe she's protective of me. A couple of months ago, my sister announced her engagement and asked me to be a bridesmaid. I was excited, but also nervous because I knew this meant a lot of work and emotional energy. I agreed without hesitation because I wanted to be supportive. What happened next, however, shook me. Shortly after the bridesmaid announcement, my sister invited Mark to what she called a meet the bridal party dinner. I thought this was a nice gesture and hoped it would help break the ice between them. At the dinner, Mark was polite and tried to engage in conversation, but my sister was dismissive. She barely spoke to him and made jokes at his expense, stuff like calling him boring and saying he doesn't fit in with our crowd. Everyone laughed nervously, but I was mortified. I tried to defend him gently, but my sister just brushed me off. After the dinner, I pulled Mark aside to check in with him. He was visibly upset, but said he'd handle it. I appreciated his maturity, but felt angry at my sister for being so rude. Then things escalated. A week later, my sister sent me a group chat message with the bridal party, listing out specific rules for bridesmaids. One of the rules was that none of us were allowed to bring our significant others to any pre-wedding events unless explicitly invited by her. I get wanting to keep things intimate, but the way she phrased it felt exclusionary, especially since Mark had been involved in some of the earlier gatherings. When I asked her why Mark wasn't welcome at the rehearsal dinner and the bridal shower, she said, "He's not really part of the family yet, and we want these events to be about us girls bonding." I felt hurt. It was clear she didn't want him around. A few days after that, Mark confided in me that he overheard my sister telling one of her friends that she thinks Mark isn't good enough for me and that she's worried he'll hold me back. This stung deeply because Mark has always encouraged and supported me in pursuing my goals. I confronted my sister about this privately, asking why she felt the need to be so harsh and excluding Mark from important events. Her response was cold. "I'm just protecting my family. You don't need someone like him bringing you down." After that conversation, I told her that if she continued to treat Mark this way, I would reconsider my role in the wedding. I didn't want to be part of something that made my fiancée feel unwelcome. 2 weeks ago, she sent me a final text telling me that if I wasn't willing to fully support her and respect her wishes regarding Mark, she didn't want me in the bridal party anymore. She said, "This is my day, and I won't let it be ruined by drama or people I don't trust." I was heartbroken. I replied that I loved her and wanted to support her, but I also needed her to respect my relationship and my fiancé. I told her I couldn't attend the wedding if Mark wasn't welcome. Now my family is divided. My parents say I'm being stubborn and selfish, ruining what should be a joyful time for my sister. Some of my friends say I'm justified in standing up for my fiancé, while others think I should put my sister's feelings first and compromise. My sister has basically cut off communication with me, and my fiancé is hurt because he feels like my family doesn't accept him. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she's treating my fiancé poorly and excluding him from important events? Or should I swallow my pride and just go to keep the peace?